it's a real struggle to provide for a comfortable lifestyle for your family. Whereas here in Indonesia, it's still possible for a sole breadwinner to go out, get a job, and still provide a decent standard of living for the family. Number one is religion. Indonesians get religion way better than Canadians do. In fact, I'm not even sure if Canadians get religion anymore. I think I read a poll a while ago where the most common answer to the question, "Are you religious?" for Canadians was, no. Or what's your religion? The answer that was most common was no religion. And we're talking like 40+%. I could be wrong, but here, people here, they get religion and they're devoted to it. And that's important because it keeps people from going crazy, in my opinion. And to me, Islam is by far the best way to go. I've looked at the other religions too, and Islam makes the most sense. It's the most reasonable. It's the most complete. That's just my opinion. And then I came to that conclusion a long time ago. Number two is food. People ask me here, so how's food in Canada? Tell me about some Canadian food. And I have no answer because to me, there is no such thing as Canadian food. I mean, we have maple syrup, but that's like, what, a condiment? You guys have, rendang, and you have, sorry, I've got a bad throat today. Nasi goreng. Gado-gado, and on and on. I mean, we could be here all day just doing food videos. The food here is unbelievable. When I first got to Indonesia, my first night staying here, my wife's family prepared for me this big bowl of rendang, and it was the most amazing food I'd ever eaten at that point in my life. And I was already in my 40s. The first reason is to live into a dream that I decided to adopt many years ago. I call it the single income family, or the sole breadwinner family. In Canada, that dream died in about 1972, roughly, according to my precise calculations. It's now very common for both parents to go and work in Canada. Both mom and dad, kids, everybody's involved in some kind of activity. So the mom works full-time, the dad works full-time. Not that it was impossible in Canada. I mean, it was doable. We did it, and we kind of just squeaked by. But the expenses became so extreme for things like taxes and accommodation, utilities, transportation, cell phones. It all adds up so quickly that for one income, unless you're making over $100,000 a year, or maybe even now $150,000 a year Canadian, and I just never agreed with that situation. I never thought that was an ideal setup. So when I was thinking about moving from Canada, I decided that Indonesia would make sense. My wife was from there to begin with, and it just seemed possible that I could go there and have an income as a man that would be enough to support my family in a comfortable way. And thanks to God, that actually has been possible. In Indonesia, it's still possible for a sole breadwinner to go out, get a job, and still provide a decent standard of living for the family. And I hope that's going to continue for a long time to come. I mean, I want to stay here. I want my kids to be raised here. I want them to grow up in this country, and I want them to have an opportunity as well. They're both boys, you know what I mean? They're both boys, and I want them to get married and support families. And I want their wives to have a choice, you know, to work or not. If they don't work, it's fine. If they do, it's fine. But they don't have to go. I think that's the key for me. Is the situation is the man is obligated to go and work and earn an income, but the woman is not. So the woman can work, okay, fine. But if she wants to stay home, I really think that it's great if she has that choice to be able to stay home. And I think the Indonesian culture supports that dream, that idea. Whereas in the West, in Canada, that dream died, and I don't think it's ever coming back.